Hi, I'm Kelly Hushin, the editor of the eTail blog, and I'm here at the Mobile Shopping Spring Conference in San Francisco, and I'm here with Mark, say it again?
Beccue.
Mark Beccue from ABI Research. And you just spoke on a panel about mobile payments, which is obviously something that is really kind of interesting to a lot of people here, both from the vendor side and the retailer side. And I wanted to just do some recapping with you about some of the things you said and just kind of ask a few questions about the issue. Well, first of all, can you tell us what you do at ABI and how you're involved in the mobile space?
Yeah, so I'm a senior analyst, and my focus is on all things mobile commerce related. It's pretty broad. That's the other retail side, to banking, to person-to-person payments, and things like that. I also cover advanced web technologies like apps and web stuff that's effective to mobile.
Okay, great. So what are you guys seeing as far as the kind of challenges with mobile payments? If we can identify, what do you think sort of the top 3 challenges are that retailers are facing right now when it comes to mobile payments?
So we took some time in the session to kind of define this. It's really 2 pieces. There's stuff that's affecting affecting retailers right now is what we call mobile online shopping. It's somebody taking a mobile device and surfing the web via that device and then trying to buy something.
Yeah.
So in that sense, the consumers are way past it. They've been out there trying to do this for several years, and retailers are not catching up. So what they have to do is realize that consumers are using these devices in different ways, and it's very disruptive. So if you haven't set up your system to be able to have optimized mobile websites, if you don't have a quick checkout, you're missing the boat. But there's other disruptive things going on, like daily deals. And what we thought was an initial use case for mobile was, I forgot to buy my wife flowers, I better do it right now.
Right.
That's changed dramatically. And it's changed because of things like curated retail.
Okay.
Curated retail is a perfect use case for mobile. It's perfect. And an eBay auction, Shop It To Me, Guilt Group, Groupon to an extent, but these things that make you have to have this immediacy of doing something.
Right.
So that has not that's happened just really fast.
Right.
And if you can't take the advantage and let that consumer do something right now that way, you're going to miss the boat. The other was what I call guerrilla shopping by consumers. So they're going out using their phone in comparison shopping. We talked about it in there about going in and saying, well, I don't have the right price here, so I'll just buy it somewhere else. And I look for the next location, or I'll buy it right online. That has caught brick and mortar completely off guard, and they have to fight back.
Right. So basically, just to recap then, we're looking at the challenge of kind of these new kinds of shopping methods where you have like a guild group or things like that, where retailers are trying to kind of wrap their heads around how they can deal with that on the mobile space and in the payment space. And then we have the second thing you mentioned, which is the
NFC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody talks about it's the ability to use your phone at a physical location to pay for something. Right. So the challenge there is the actual ability to have the hardware by the consumer, and the hardware by the merchant. The merchant needs a POS upgrade to do that. But what's missing today is there's not a lot of mobile handsets out there that have these chips in them. Very few. Over time, that's going to grow, but think about how people replace phones. Okay, so we're hearing all about Google saying they're going to do it in Android, they're going to do it in BlackBerry phones, maybe Apple's going to have it, on and on. Think about how long that takes for consumers to replace a phone. Okay, and we run the numbers, and I have it with me.
Oh, great. Excellent.
The numbers I'm looking at is basically worldwide installed base of people that have a phone with an NFC chip in it today.
Yes.
Last year was 5.7 million people. That's nothing. This year it's 35 million.
Wow.
Still nothing.
Big increase, but
it's a
still,
big increase, but if you figure there's over 5 billion people with phones in the world, not a lot. By 2016, that's about a little over 500 million installed base.
Wow.
So it's not. It's going to take time. I guess
It'll take time.
you know, you've got this kind of that could be spurred by a lot of things.
Right. Do you think, though, that the retailer has to start preparing now for that shift? Because you're saying it's going to take time. We're looking at 2014, 2016, those kinds of outlooks.
Right.
What is the time frame that a retailer kind of needs to really start wrapping his or her head around these?
Well, that's a good
ideas?
question, and I'd say this. So I had a forecast on what we thought would be tied to that, right? And here's how big it is. It goes in 4 years. I thought it could be 48 billion. It could be 150 billion. It's just really unsure right now, and this is difficult for. I think it's very difficult for merchants.
Yes.
But what they may need to be start thinking of, they need to be thinking of.
Right.
Absolutely. But we were talking in there about other drivers. The ability to do CRM with consumers
Yes.
would be very appealing.
Right.
So, you know, that might be worth an investment and give you a competitive advantage. To be able to make offers, very personalized offers, that's probably the driver. It's
Right.
not so much being able to make the payment, because actually you have to look at it another way. You know, ask a guy on the street. What am I asking you? It's like, is it any easier for me to swipe my phone or pull out a credit card?
Right.
Tough, right? So I have to give you an incentive to do that. Now,
Right.
with mobile, I have this interaction that I could make personalized offers.
Right.
A card is dumb. It's not smart. Credit card's dumb, but a phone with a chip in it is very smart.
Right. Exactly.
So that might be what, you know, really pushes us over. And I just say the retailers need to look at this very carefully and do their homework, understand what's coming up, and think about competitive advantages.
Right. And last question is, what about security? How is that evolving, and how are consumer feelings about security evolving, and also how are retailers and merchants dealing with the ideas of security and the challenges there?
Well, you know, it was funny because we were talking about it in there. Banking seemed to be a big deal for consumers. They're very concerned about security.
Yes.
But on the retail side so far, no. It's not. I mean, the numbers here that we're seeing from
Right.
people using this, apparently they have no issue. That being said, you know, to get to mass market and to really kind of let things roll, it's up to the retailer to make sure that everything is very secure, and it's also up to them to kind of make sure that their consumers know it's very secure. They
Right.
can't hurt them. You know, they say, "Boy, I'm going to tell you this is really secure." Okay, I want to buy it.
Yeah. Is it secure yet? Is it very secure? I mean, there's been recent issues with, breaches in security from emails. I know you know. So is it actually secure?
You know, I've heard that twice in the last 2 days. I'm like, what's that got to do with buying something online?
True.
Or not? You know, I mean, but you know what? Perception's reality. People
Right.
think that's going to affect everything they do. Okay. I think it's more of a perception.
Okay.
It really is. And you know, when people use it, there's another point that's going to really drive this. Is if you use it and it works for you, then you're more confident. Now, what happens then is it gets viral. Okay, do you go, do you do that? You did that? Or does it work?
Yeah.
It works. Oh, well, then now you're confident. And we're seeing that we're doing surveys twice a year through our service that I have the mobile commerce service, research service. But we do 2,000 U.S. Mobile users twice a year. We do ask them, it's a very comprehensive list of things, but we ask them about that. And confidence is rising.
Yeah.
It's just going nowhere but up.
Okay, well, good news.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us and for also that great presentation in there, that panel discussion, and look forward to hearing more from you about the evolution of the mobile payment space.
Thank you.
Thank you.